Um, Today we're going to be taking a look at Star Wars Imperial Assault. I've had this game for probably about 18 months, but haven't really got it to the table enough. Fantasy Flight Games have released a whole plethora of expansions, of which I have none. They have already confirmed they are not producing any more, but they are going to continue supporting the app, which is something that was introduced a couple of years after the game came out. The original game gives you the facility for one player to play as the Empire, and then the other players are cooperatively playing the Rebels. The app introduces a method where the app controls the Empire, so the players are all on the same side, so it's no longer one versus many. It also adds some extra replayability options by adding a few random elements into the mix based on what you've got in your collection. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, up here is the app. It's available on iOS, Android, Mac, PC. Mac and PC, it's available through Steam. This is the Mac version, but they are, from what I can tell, they're all pretty much identical. And as I said, it lets you play a cooperative game without a human controlling the Empire. So let's have a quick look. We'll start up a new campaign. So click new game. Yes, we want a campaign. Recently they have added raids into the app as well, which is basically a large map where it throws a whole bunch of rebel players with predetermined levels of XP against wave after wave of enemy to basically see how long they can last. I think that's how it works anyway, but we're going to be looking at a campaign. So as you can see, there are at present 4 campaigns in the app. The Legends of the Alliance tutorial, which basically just takes you through how the app works. Return to Hoth, which requires, as you can see, the red section there, it requires the Return to Hoth physical expansion. Jabba's Realm also requires the Jabba's Realm physical expansion. And then there is Flight of the Freedom Fighter, I can't speak, which is the main campaign that the app came with. Just to show you how you can tailor the app, you have a collection button here on the main screen, and then here you can mark off which of the expansions you own. Add to collection there, you see. I'm not going to do that because I don't own it, and apparently once you add them in you can't take them out again. So then you'll be finding random elements for characters and map tiles you don't own. So the expansions for Imperial Assault range from these, as you can see here, which are a mix of large box and small box expansions with characters, tiles, campaign missions. Each of the boxes does come with some plastic figures, but then there are other plastic figures that you only get a cardboard tile for, so you can then buy the actual plastic figures as well, and the same goes for villains as well. And then they've even produced some game maps for the some of the raids. So yes, back to where we were. We're going to start a new game. We are going to do a campaign, and we will be doing Flight of the Freedom Fighter. First thing you do is choose your difficulty level. I am not playing on hard. Pick save slot, and then choose who you are going to play. These are the 6 characters that come in the core box. You have a Jedi type character, a Rebel, a Wookiee, a Commander, a General, a Han Solo type but female, and a Mercenary, I believe he is. So I am going to pick the 2 characters I have played the least. You have to have at least 2 players to be able to start a campaign. Put in a squad name. I can't quite reach my keyboard. and now it will talk you through setting the scene and setting the app. Just 1 second, I just need to make sure I've got a couple of cards here that I haven't. There's somewhere else. Okay, so from within the secret rebel base on Yavin 4, you listen anxiously as the pilots of Red and Gold squadrons face down the Emperor's ultimate weapon, the Death Star. You cheer with joyful relief when Luke Skywalker destroys the Imperial installation with a single shot. You stand at grateful attention as Princess Leia Organa presents Skywalker and Han Solo with awards for their meritorious service. Not for Chewie though, not yet. Yet the ceremony has hardly finished when Rebel Command orders a full evacuation of the Yavin 4 base. You help load the transports, uncertain how long you have until the Empire arrives. So what the app will do now is it will talk you through setting up the board. Most of the transports have departed Yavin 4, yet you remain tasked with providing security to the last few ships that are still being loaded. You are patrolling the perimeter of the base, keeping an eye out for any Imperial forces that might slip past the base's sensors and lookouts to land on the surface. So it's telling you which tiles to assemble to build the map. Then that is the position that the rebels will deploy in. And now it will populate the map with enemies. So first of all, we have an elite probe droid, goes here. We will have a standard probe droid over here, and it suggests you select a colour so you can differentiate them. So he will be the black probe droid. And then over here we will have the blue probe droid. You radio into the command center to report to the probe droids. Take them out, quickly, a woman's voice replies. This is the officer on duty, Lieutenant Talcon. If they signal back to their ship, the Empire will know where to send their troops. You need to defeat the probe droids before they can signal their ship. Objective updated, defeat the probe droids. So here we go. The app itself keeps track basically of who is alive and who is dead, but it does no tracking of who is where. It doesn't track health. Otherwise you'd be playing the game in the app, and that's not what it's designed for. It's really there just to replace a player at the table, effectively. Okay, so if I switch over to my table where I have already set the level up to match what we've got in the app, only turned 90 degrees. So we have our 3 probe droids, we have our 2 rebels, we have Fen Cygnus, who is a hardened veteran, and we have Mac Eshkare, who is a bold renegade. These are the player sheets. Each character starts with their own weapon. They have a little deck of cards with their pictures on the back, which they can then buy upgrades from. And as we only have 2 characters in the game, they are classed as legendary. So each character gets to go have 2 activations. Normally each character only has 1 activation. One rebel player will have a go, Empire will have a go. Rebel player will have a go, Empire will have a go, etc. Stats are here at the bottom of the card. So Mac has a health of 10 and endurance of 5, which I'll explain shortly. Speed is 4, which means he can move 4 squares at a time. Whereas Fen has a health of 12, endurance of 4, and he also has a speed of 4. Special abilities. So this is where the endurance comes in. As well as taking physical damage, you can take strain. So you can exert yourself to do something special. And you can take strain up to your endurance level, after which you cannot voluntarily take any more. Excuse me. So Mac can take a strain, and then when he declares an attack targeting a figure that does not have line of sight to him, the attack gains Pierce 2, and Pierce means you cut through the armor. He also has the Covert ability. Hostile figures 4 or more spaces away from you do not have line of sight to you, and you do not block line of sight for those figures. Found it. Sorry, excuse me. Fen, on the other hand, he can take strain to do a havoc shot, so while attacking with a pistol, or with a ranged weapon should I say, this attack gains blast of 1, so that gives 1 damage to neighbouring characters. And Lone Wolf, at the end of his activation, if there are no friendly adjacent figures, he can recover a strain. We also have in play cards for each of the probe droids. I've marked them just with a coloured token. The number on them is irrelevant, but it's just so we can keep track of which is which. More importantly, for the 2 standard droids rather than the red elite one. The elite one is in the centre. So the standard probe droids have a speed of 3, so they can move 3 squares. They have a health of 5, whereas the elite has a speed of 4 and a health of 7. So let's go first. Who shall go first? I think so. They're both of my characters have ranged weapons. So basically that means when they roll the dice for their attack, they have to roll numbers equal to or more than the number of squares their target is away, otherwise they have missed. So for example, he is here, 1, 2, 3, he would need to roll a 4 or higher on his dice to successfully hit that probe droid. So what I am going to do, I am going to make Fen go first. Fen will go 1, 2. He's going to move there. You can, so basically on your activation you can take 2 actions. You can move, you can interact with an object in the scenery, you can attack, or you can rest. I'm probably missing something else there as well. I think they are the main things. Rest means you can just recover some health or some strain. So Fen is now going to attack the probe droid. Fen attacks with his infantry rifle, which you might not be able to make out there, is a blue and a green dice. So he rolls a blue and a green. The elite probe droid defends with a black dice. So you essentially roll the 3 of those dice together. Oh dear. So these symbols mean that the probe droid will successfully block 3 hits. So firstly, on the attack, we look at the numbers. He has rolled 5, so he has hit something within 5 range. He's done 2 hits, 3 hits, and the lightning bolt means a surge. And the surge is a optional extra thing that happens as part of the attack. So he's done 3 hits, but all 3 hits are blocked. And for his infantry rifle, his surge can either be an extra hit or an extra accuracy. So I will obviously take an extra hit. So I will be doing 4 hits, 3 are blocked. So I'm doing a single damage to the probe droid. I'll put it on the probe droid's card. It gets more complicated later on when a card can represent multiple figures, so it makes sense then to put the damage. In fact, for consistency, I'll do that. 1 damage on that probe droid there. So that's his first action. In fact, it's not his first action. He moved 2, did a shot, and he can actually carry on the rest of his speed. So he could, in theory, just pop back again, keep himself at distance from the probe droid. So that is Fen's activation. So we just mark on the app that Fen's first activation is complete. So now the blue probe droid has a go. Hopefully you can read that on the screen there. So basically what it does, it gives you some logic to follow for the probe droid. It's almost like basically like an AI, and then you do that in order. So his first preference is to move 2 to attack the closest healthy rebel. So the closest rebel is Fen. He can move 2 and he can attack because he has a ranged weapon. So he will go 1, 2, and he will attack Fen. So he attacks with a blue and 2 yellow. Let's get that the right way around. Blue and 2 yellow, and Fen defends with a white. So let's see what happens. This could be a bad start. Okay, so his range is 5, so it's a definite hit anyway, because he's only 1 square away. And he has rolled 2, 3, 4 damage and a surge. This symbol means I have blocked a surge. So it's basically 4 damage to Fen. Not a good start. What I forgot to mention as well is, in addition to having 2 activations per round, because we only have 2 characters, they also have plus 10 health. So it's not quite as bad as it looks. So that was his first action. That's his second action, move 2 to reposition 3. So that means he will move up to 2 squares to position himself 3 squares away from an enemy. So we can say 1, 2, 3, so we can basically go back there. So that's his turn. So now we are on to Mac, and I think Mac is going to have a pop at that elite droid as well, but he has a longer range weapon, so he's going to stay put rather than move. So he has a long blaster, an illegally modified sporting blaster apparently, and these blue dice have longer range. So we will see what happens. So he has rolled 5 range, which is fine. 1, 2, he's only 4 squares away. He's rolled 3 hits, and the droid has rolled a dodge to dodge the surge. There isn't a surge, so that's 3 straight hits to the droid. Sorry about this, my phone is ringing. I'll be back in a second. And I'm back. I am so sorry about that. There's always something interrupts my streams. Right, so I had just taken the 3 damage that I dealt to the Imperial Probe Droid with Mac's first action. And for his second action, he's going to have another go. This time he has done 1, 2 damage and a surge. 2 damage is blocked. His surge is either plus 1 damage, so he will be doing 3 damage against 2 block, or pierce 1, so he will be doing 2 damage against 1 block. Both the same end result, 1 extra damage on the probe droid. So he's now at 5 out of 7. So that is Mac's activation done. What happens now? The black probe droid. So action 1, move 2 to attack the closest healthy rebel. So he will go 1, 2, and he will be attacking Mac here. And as before, his attack is a blue and 2 yellow. And Mac's defense is a white. In fact, looking at it again, his defense was a black die, so I rolled the wrong one last time. Whoops. Okay, so he has rolled a range of 4, so it's a definite hit because he's only 1 square away. This is nasty. He's rolled 2, 4, 5 damage and 2 surge. One of those damage is blocked, so 5 damage and 2 surged. So although there are cards here that list what their surges are, the app lists priority of surges. So his first priority is to recover a damage. Doesn't matter, he's not been damaged yet. His second priority is to do an extra damage, so that takes it to 6. His third priority is Pierce 1, which blocks, which negates the defense. So that's a full 6 damage on Mac. That's a 5 and a 1 in case you're wondering. And then for his second action, his first option is move 2 to reposition a 3. His second option is move 4 to reposition a 3. So basically he just needs to move to position himself 3 squares away from. So 1, 2, there, he's 3 squares away there. So pretty much back where he started. Okay, so back over to me. Let's Fen go first. He is going to carry on shooting. I think he's basically just going to repeat what he did last time. He's going to move 2. He's going to attack the probe droid with his green and blue dice. Probe droid is a black defense. So it's a definite hit because he's rolled 6. He's done 3 damage and a surge. The surge is blocked through that symbol, so it's 3 damage. That's killed the probe droid. So we can take this off the map. We can take the card away. And we update this to say that the red probe is defeated. Boom, that gives us 5 fame. I have no idea what that is for. So his first action was move, his second action was shoot, and he's got 2 squares left of his move. So he will pop here. He's not got cover, but yeah. So that is Fen's activation done. There are no enemy figures that haven't activated, so it now goes back to Mac's second activation. And he will... Now then, the way line of sight works in this game is you have to be able... You pick a corner of the square you are on, and you need to be able to draw 2 uninterrupted straight lines to any 2 corners of the square of the person you're trying to hit. So from this corner here, I can draw a straight line to there and a straight line to there. So we definitely have line of sight. Those rules also means you can be in a position where you've got line of sight of someone you're shooting and they don't have line of sight back. So it's the equivalent of you like leaning around the corner to fire a quick shot off, but they never actually saw you. So, but anyway, because Mac has his long blaster, he's going to shoot the black probe droid, who has a black defense dice. So it's a range of 5, so it's a hit. He's rolled 2 hits and a surge. 2 hits are blocked, so it's just the surge which he will take as an extra hit. So that's just 1 damage to the probe droid, 1 out of 5. And then for his second action, he is going to do it again. Oh dear. Again, so that's 3 hits and a surge, and 3 hits a miss. So again, the surge is going to be 1 damage. Very slowly pinging the damage off that droid. Right, that's Mac complete. The surviving probe droids extend their antenna and broadcast their location to their ship. You can be sure that more Imperial forces are on the way. Moments later, more Imperial troops come crashing through the underbrush, weapons hot. And we get an Imperial officer, regular. Where's my Imperial officers? There we are. One Imperial officer, pointy man, is here. I'm not going to assign him a colour. I will leave him grey because we don't have any other Imperial officers in the game yet. Or do we? And now here's where it gets interesting. We have a squad of stormtroopers. So first of all, let's get out a card for the Imperial officer. And now we'll get a card out for the squad of stormtroopers. What you probably can't quite make out, there are a number of bars under the number here. 3 bars mean that's 3 stormtroopers. They are appearing here on the steps. So the first one will go on the square indicated, and the other 2 can be on adjacent squares. So I will put them here like that. Oh, and there's more. Oh dear, right, and now we have a Royal Guard regular. So things have suddenly got a bit nasty. Royal Guard, and this is 2 characters. Imperial forces inbound, Lieutenant Talcon calls out. Yeah, no, you're kidding me. Hold our mouth as long as you can while we finish loading the last of the transports. If you start taking too many casualties, fall back into the base. May the force be with you. Objective updated. Hold off the Imperial forces until the last transports can escape. The door to the base opens just long enough for 3 rebel troopers to rush out onto the battlefield. The door quickly closes behind them. Deploy the regular rebel trooper group, then each rebel trooper gains 6 movement points. So we only have a token for this character. We don't have an actual figure. Let me check how many characters this is actually supposed to be. Rebel trooper is 3. So we'll put 3 tokens on. If I've got 3 tokens, that is. Yes, I do. To represent the squad of 3. There we go. Hi. Pop. Then each rebel trooper gains 6 movement points. Now, does that mean they are able to move now? Or does that mean they have 6 movement points for when they do come to move? Don't know. Right, round 2. So the rebel troopers are attacking with a blue and a yellow dice. So try to put those there so that they're on camera. Right. Which one of these guys had blast? Somebody had blast. Right, Fended. He is going to go first, and he is going to shoot the stormtrooper in the middle there. He is going to take a strain to do a havoc shot. So a Havoc shot is while used while attacking with a ranged weapon. This attack gains Blast 1. And so Blast means characters in adjacent squares take a damage as well. It's a blue and a green with a black defense, I think it is, on the Stormtrooper. Yeah. So it's a successful hit. He's done 3 damage to the first Stormtrooper and a surge, but the surge is blocked. So the first Stormtrooper is dead because he only has 3 health. And then the other 2 get 1 damage each from the blast. So as you can see, this is where it starts getting a little bit messy. Particularly if you start moving characters and forget to move the damage along with them. And then for his second go, he's going to shoot again. Is he going to do a blast again? Or should he move? Probably going to regret this. Yeah, he's going to attack again. He's going to do another Havoc shot. Take a strain. It's a hit and it's all completely blocked. Let me just double check what blast means again. The attack, after the attack resolves, if the target suffered 1 or more damage, then each. Right, okay, so that doesn't work because he wouldn't suffer any damage. So that's basically a bad miss. So that's Finn's activation complete. Right, the regular Royal Guards. Bonus, when the first figure in this group declares an attack, add 1 blue die to the attack pool. Right, so his first option is move 5 to attack the rebel troopers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, he can't get to the rebel troopers because he only does a melee attack. Second option, move 2 to engage as many non-Guardian Imperial figures as possible. I don't even understand what that means. If this figure is adjacent, oh, it's explained it, there you go. If this figure is adjacent to a non-Guardian Imperial figure, this figure's activation ends. Of course, so yes, they have the ability of when they are adjacent to a non-Guardian figure, these guys are Guardians, then that Guardian, they basically help defend that from attack. So he's going to go 1, 2 and then there, and he's going to go 1, 2 and then there. So they are both now adjacent to a non-Guardian figure. And his activation ends. So now it's Mac. What are you going to do, Mac? Is it worth trying to shoot the probe droid while those 2 guys are there? Basically, you're going to get a +2 block. Oh, mind you, it says limit 1 Sentinel or Protector ability used per attack, so he's only going to get 1 block. So let's go for it. 2 blue against the black. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. And it completely blocks. Although the P is 1. No, it's all blocked. Let's try one more time. So range of 4, so it still hits. Hit of 2, block 1, plus another block from the Sentinel, so it's block 2. Completely missed. What a waste. Right, the black probe droid, the one I've been shooting at. Move 3 to attack the closest healthy rebel. What I didn't explain earlier, healthy means they are still on the front side. When they have taken a full health's worth of damage, they flip over to the wounded side. So they have basically a second go, but with fewer abilities. In most missions, once all of the rebels have been flipped over to wounded, it often means that the Empire has won that mission. But anyway, here we are. This probe droid is going to move 2 or 3 to attack the closest healthy rebel. 1, 2. So he's attacking Mac. His attack is blue and 2 yellow. Mac's defense is white. And Mac's defense is rubbish. So he's got 1, 2 damage and 5 surge. Luckily, you can't use surge abilities more than once. So it's definitely 2 damage. And in priority, first preference is an extra damage, so that makes 2. Pierce 1 makes no difference because there is no damage, and there's no block, and then the third one, recover a health. Okay, so it's basically 3 damage and he recovers a health. And then for his second action, move 2 to reposition 3, so he heads back there to where he came from again. Yeah, he was here, 1. Right. Stormtroopers have not activated yet, have they? So I think I need to finish the Stormtroopers off to reduce the chances of them doing something else. So Fen is going to shoot the nearest Stormtrooper. And I forgot, his Lone Wolf ability, at the end of your activation, if there are no friendly figures adjacent, you can recover a strain. So I should have done that at the last activation. So now he's on his second activation. He's going to take a strain and do another Havoc shot. So he's going to shoot the Stormtroopers with a blue and a green. The Stormtroopers defend with a black. So it's 1 damage and a surge, and the surge, well, it gains blast. The surge is going to be +1, so that's 2 damage and a blast. Let me just refresh myself about the blast. If the target suffered 1 more damage, each figure and object adjacent, so it itself doesn't get blasted. So he takes 2 damage. Let me get sure I got that right. 1, 2, 3, and then a 4th one from the surge. 2 are blocked, so that's 2 damage. So he's dead because he only has 3 health. And then a blast goes onto the adjacent figure. So that's 2 damage on that Stormtrooper. And now for his second action, he's going to shoot him again, but this time just a normal shot, not a Havoc shot. Yeah, he's dead. That's 4 damage at a range of 6. He's dead. So the Stormtroopers are back out. Mark that the Stormtroopers are gone. And that Fen has ended his activation, and at the end of his activation he can heal a strain. Right, the blue probe droid. Move 3 to attack rebel troopers. He's nowhere near the rebel trooper, so that's not going to happen. Self-destruct. If this figure has suffered 3 or more damage, he's not suffered any yet, so we can't do that one. So move 2 to reposition 3, move 4 to reposition 3. One, two, three, four. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. If he goes there, but then he's only 1 square away from that one. So he's got to position himself so he's at least, so he's 3 squares from a rebel. 1, 2, 3. So he's going to have to move there, isn't he? And then for his second activation, 1, 2, 3. Still can't get close enough to the rebels to attack. Oh yeah, he's finished. Right, Mac, what you gonna do, Mac? Or shall I move the rebels? The rebels are shooting with a blue and a yellow, so they have a decent range. If they've not exited their space during this activation, they get an extra damage and accuracy. We can't see anybody from where they are. So yeah, I'm going to activate the rebels. Let's go. They've moved with 6, it said, didn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's move to there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the idea being is, by them being here behind this barrier, they can draw a straight line from here, skirting those edges to 2 corners of that rebel, that hostile figure there. So they are going to take a shot. Blue and a yellow, and their defense is a black. So this front guy is shooting this guy. That's a range of 3. 1, 2, 3, so that's a hit. And his hit is 1, 2 damage, 3 surge. 1 surge is blocked, so 2 damage, 2 surge. His surge is pierce 1 and +1 accuracy, so neither of those make a difference to the result, so it's 2 damage to that guy. So he has moved and attacked. These should have been done in sequence. So now the second one is moving and he is going to attack 1, 2, 3, 4 squares away. That's a range of 4, so it's a hit, 2 damage, 2 surge, 1 damage is blocked, so that's 2 damage and 1 surge. Pierce means that goes through that, so it's 2 damage, 2 damage. That puts him up to 4. Amazingly, these royal guards have 8 health, which is really quite annoying. So then the guy at the back is going to have a pop. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's 5 away, so it's not likely to hit. No, he's missed. He only rolled 4. Okay, so that's, these guys have had their activation. So what's Mr. Officerman going to do? Bonus: before this activation, the highest cost Imperial figure that isn't already focused becomes focused. So the highest Imperial figure is the Royal Guard, so they are focused. Okay. Did you get what you wanted? Sorry, my son has just been to town and bought himself a lightsaber. What have you got?
It's someone from Rebels.
Okay. Was it the same price?
Yeah.
Cool. When you declare an attack or an attribute test, add 1 green die to the dice pool. So that Royal Guard is now focused. Right, activation. First action, order another Imperial figure with a cost of 3 or less to attack the healthy rebel closest to this figure. Well, he can't attack because he only does melee attacks and can't see them anyway. He can't attack because... No, he can attack. He can attack as well. So it's the healthy rebel closest to this character. So 1, 2, 3 is 3 away. They are both 3 away. So I'll make it this guy attacking this guy because he's the healthiest. So Probe Droid attacks with a blue and 2 yellow. Fen only has a black defense die. Let's get it right this time. So it's a hit because he's rolled a 6 range. He's rolled 3 damage and 2 surge. 2 damage are blocked, so it's 1 damage and 2 surge. And the Probe Droid surges are +1 damage and pierce 1. So that basically does away with those 2, so it's 4 damage. And then his second action, move 3 to attack the closest healthy rebel. He's nowhere near. Has he got a ranged weapon? He does. So he could go 1, 2. Now these blue edged areas are difficult terrain to move through. Each square costs an extra point of movement. So it would be 1, 2, 3. So he would then have a shot at Fen. The Imperial officer rolls 1 blue, 1 yellow. Fen blocks with a black. So that's a range of 4, so it's a hit. 3 damage and a surge, 2 damage is blocked, so those 2 cancel each other out. So it's 1 damage and a surge. His surge preference is +2 accuracy, makes no difference, +1 damage. So that's 2 damage. So Fen is now at 10 damage out of his 22. So now it's down to all the Empire have had their go. So we're now down to Mac. Is Mac going to try and have a shot at the Probe Droid? Mac, the Probe Droid, let's have a go. Let's see. In fact, oh, and at the end of Fen's go, he should have healed the strain. Right, Mac. Go on then, let's have a shot. 2 blue and a black defense. So it's 3 hits, 2 blocks, so 1 hit, and he gets an extra block from the probes, so that's a miss. And his second action, he's not going to do anything else, he's going to rest. So he heals the equivalent of his endurance. You have to heal strain first, and then any leftover can be healed from your actual health. That's 5 heal. More Imperial forces come bursting out of the jungle, of course they do. And what do we get? How many war guards are on the map? 2. So we get, an E-Web engineer. Regular. That is unfortunate for those 3 guys. Only 4 transports have yet to depart. Keep standing strong. So basically we've got to survive. That, I think, if I remember right, that drops down 1 each round. So I've got to survive 4 more rounds. Okay. So I think these 3 rebels over here are all going to have to focus on the E-Web. The E-Web has a health of 5. So this guy at the back first. Now then, the rebel trooper, aim. If you've not exited your space during this activation, which they haven't, apply a damage and 2 accuracy to your results. So first guy is going to do a blue and a yellow with a black defense. So this guy is shooting the E-web. So that's 1, 2 damage, 3 surge. One of the surges is blocked. So 2 damage, 2 surge. You get +1 because of that. So 3 damage. And the surges don't help. So 3 damage to the web. 1, 2, 3. And then for his second go, he's going to do it again. 1 damage, 1 surge. The surge is blocked, so that's 1 damage, and he gets an extra damage from not having moved. That puts it at 5 damage, so the E-web is straight out of action. Defeat the E-web engineer. So he's had his go. This guy at the front is going to take a shot at the guy up there. Just as before. That's not very good. 3 blocks and pierce and accuracy. That doesn't help. So his second shot, he's going to do it again. Again, completely missed. And then the guy in the middle is going to do the same. He's going to shoot that guard. He's missed 1, 2, 3. He's 4 squares away, so it is a hit, but both have been blocked. Oh, actually, and because you haven't moved, 1 damage. So it's 1 damage. And his second action is going to do the same. And again, because he hasn't moved, that's a little better. 1 damage, extra 1, 2 damage, and a surge. Makes no difference, so 2 more damage. So that's going from 5 to 7. 5, 6, 7. So the rebels have had their go. I think I probably should have done extra damage at some point because I missed the +1 and he might be dead, but never mind. Right, War Guards regular. Move 4 to attack Mac Eshkare. That's a little nasty, isn't it? So the War Guard only attack with a melee weapon. 1, 2, 3. So they only need to move 3. Their damage with them, otherwise I will get confused. And they attack with a red and a yellow. And Mac defends with a white. And yet to show off in this game my favourite thing about the white. It's still not turned up. So that's 2 damage and a surge. The surge is blocked, so it's 2 damage. So we go from 4 to 6. And then for their second action, move 3 towards the closest non-ready hero. Non-ready? Well, they're both ready at the moment, so there is no non-ready hero. No, these guys are the non-ready. Well, they're not heroes, but I'll assume it means these guys because they're not ready. 1, 2, 3. Well, actually, we can go 1, 2, 3. We can do a diagonal there, can't we? I think. Right. Fen. What are you going to do, Fen? Fen is going to shoot the officer because he has line of sight from this corner of his square to the front 2 corners of the officer's square. So Fen will shoot and take a strain to do a havoc shot. And so his attack is a blue and a green, and the Imperial officer dodges with a white. And that's not what I wanted to see. So that basically means a complete miss, no matter what you've rolled, which is the great thing about the white dice when you're rolling it for your own defense. Not so much when you're rolling it for an enemy's. So Fen's going to have a second shot. Okay, so that's 3 damage. Blocked surge, so there are no surges, so it makes no difference. So 3 damage on the Imperial officer. He only has 3 health. He's out. So Imperial officer is out, and Fen has had his go. Right, blue probe droid. Move 3 to attack Mac. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And his attack is a ranged blue and 2 yellow. And Mac defends with a white. So we have 2, 3 damage and 2 surge. We have a damage and a surge block, so that takes that one out. So it's 2 damage and 1 surge. And the probe droid surge preferences are extra damage, so that's 3 damage to Mac. And then for his second activation, if he has suffered 3 or more damage, he hasn't. Move 2 to reposition himself 3 squares away. So that would have to be here, I think. 1, 2, 3. Because if he goes 1, 2, he's only 2 squares away that way. So he's going to have to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 to be 3 squares away. Right, so now we are over to Mac. Mac's going to have another pop out that probe droid. He's not doing much moving around, is he, old Mac? He's just, I think he's in the same square he started the game in. So Mac with his long blaster, 2 blue against the probe droid's black. The probe droid gets an extra defense from the Royal Guard sat behind him. Did I forget to activate that Royal Guard? I think I did, didn't I? Oh, whoops. So that's 3 damage and a surge. The surge is blocked. So 3 damage on that probe droid. That puts it to 4 damage out of 5. So for his second action, he's going to do the same again. In fact, one of those damages wouldn't have hit, would it? Because he would have got a protection from the thingy. So 1 damage, 1 surge, 1 damage blocked, so it's just a surge. His surge is an extra damage, but the extra damage gets blocked. So he's missed. Right, black probe droid. Move 3 to attack Fen. 1, 2, 3. And he attacks Fen with his blue and 2 yellow. Fen defends with a single black. And again, Fen should have healed that strain at the end of his last go. Right, so 4, 5 range, 1, 2, 3 damage, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, 3 surge, 2 damage is blocked, so that takes, they cancel each other out, so 2 damage, 3 surge. The surge preferences are an extra damage, that becomes 3, a pierce, so that removes one of those blocks, so that's 4 damage, and recover a health. So he recovers a health and does 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. And then for his second action, is that class? Oh, anyway, second action, self-destruct. We can't we can self-destruct. Move 2 to engage as many rebels as possible. I'll send him this way. Each adjacent rebel rolls 1 red die and suffers the damage. 2 damage. If any rebels suffer damage, defeat this figure immediately. Oh no, I thought that was a 5 underneath. It wasn't, it was a 1. So he couldn't have done the self-destruct because he hadn't suffered 3 or more damage. So let's put that back on. So he's back where he was. So his third up, he's moved 2 to reposition 3. So it would be there. Move up to 2 to reposition 3. That's a shame. I thought I'd got rid of a robot then for just taking 2 damage, but never mind. Right. Well, he's no longer next to the Royal Guard, so Fen is going to... No, Mac is going to have another pop with his long rifle. That's 2 blue with a black defense. Oh, for goodness sake. 2 surges. His surges are Pierce 1 and +1 damage, so that Pierce 1 removes one of those blocks, and the other one +1 damage, but that 1 damage gets blocked, so that's a miss. He's his second action, a little better, 2 damage and a surge. The surge is blocked, so it's 2 damage, putting him at 4, and his health is 5. So that's max activation done. No more Imperial figures without an activation. So we go straight back over to Fen, who will shoot this probe droid with his blue and his green. Probe droid's black. Three damage and a surge. The surge is blocked. 3 damage. He's had 4 damage, so he is dead. That's the black probe droid is out of action. And then he will take a shot at the blue probe droid for his second action. So that's 3 damage and a surge. The surge is blocked, so it's just a straight 1, 2, 3 damage. End activation. More Imperial forces come bursting out of the jungle. How many Royal Guards are on the map too? Oh, we have another Imperial officer. Pointy man. And he comes in. I've got to remember this because I've rotated the map, haven't I? There. I will leave him grey because he is the only one for now. for now. So now we have an elite Imperial officer. So we'll put a red token next to him to indicate he is elite. And he comes up here at the top of the stairs. No more, please. Only 3 transports yet to depart. Keep standing strong. If you're running low on supplies, fall back to the base, the lieutenant adds. I'll open the door for you. Open the door and place tile 23B and 1 door. Where's the door? The door's there. Okay. Just bear with me while I find the correct tile. So I didn't have this prepared because I didn't know what came next. So it's a 4x4 square. That one? No. Is it 4x4 square? Four by 4 square with 2 doors on it, 23B. One of these I've already looked at and dismissed. It's that one, isn't it? Is it that one? No. It's like an L shape, isn't it? Not an L shape, but doors on 2 sides. That one. So this is now mucking my layout out because I position this just right for the string. Let's squeeze it in here like that, and then the door here. And okay, it'll tell us in a second. Right, so that's that and a door. Place 2 crates. More rebel troopers come rushing out of the base to provide you with reinforcements. Reinforce regular troopers until there are 3 in the group. Well, there's already 3 in the group. Fight them off as long as you can. With the door to the base open, you are presented with an opportunity to fall back to relative safety. Each rebel may interrupt to perform a move action. Do I want to interrupt to do a move action? So basically I think that what that's saying is everybody can do a single move now before their normal action. So I think, should we fall back? Get some supplies out of those crates? These guys can keep having a pop at that Royal Guard. These guys I feel are a little bit in the open. So I'm definitely going to move Finn. His move is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm going to leave Mac where he is because he hasn't moved the entire game. I'm going to leave the rebel troopers where they are as well. So round 4. What I need to do, and now the cat wants to jump on my lap. Now I'm going to that Imperial officer's health is 5. That probe droid over there is damaged, but I can't hit him now because we've just moved. We've got a new Imperial officer in the corner. The problem is they can tell people what to do effectively. Right, let's deal with this guy at the back. So, who's got the best weapon? Max Long Blaster. The Imperial officer defends with a white. Still going to go badly. Oh, actually. 3 damage and a surge. His surge is an extra damage, so 4 could be a pierce. So that's either 3 damage with no defense or 4 damage with 1 defense. So it's the same result. 3 damage on the Imperial officer. And he's going to do it again. Just needs to do a hit of 2 and he's out. And he's got it. That's 2 damage and the surge. The surge is blocked, 2 damage, so that's 5 damage in total to this officer. He's gone as quickly as he arrived. And Mac has taken his 2 shots. Right, blue probe droid, bonus, he gains Pierce 1. Move 3 to attack rebel troopers, he can't get anywhere near the rebel troopers. He could self-destruct, because he's taken 3 damage, so it would be, oh there, this could be very bad. Move 2 to engage as many rebels as possible, so you can go 1, 2. That's the closest he can get. So he's going to do that then. 1, 2. Roll a red die for each adjacent rebel. 1 damage to the man in the hat. That puts him at 15 damage out of 22. He's going to have to do some healing. And he is defeated. That was rather a pathetic self-destruct, if I say so myself. So now all that we've got left in play are the Royal Guard, who should have been focused, I missed that, and an Imperial officer. So he is defeated. So now it's Fen. No, it's going to be the rebels. So he's going to shoot this guy. So the rebels are attacking with... What are they attacking with? Blue and yellow. Probe droid defends with black. That's no good, is it? Or is it? So what are the surges again for the rebel trooper? PS1 and accuracy. So that's a fail. Or is it? So if you've not exited your space, apply 1 damage and 2 accuracy to your result. So he's rolled 2 damage and 2 blocked, but he gains PS1, so 1 damage is dealt. To him, he is on 7 damage, and he has a health of 8. So he is dead on the first shot. Was that the first shot or was that the second shot? I think that was the second shot, wasn't it? So he's had his go. His turn. These guys can move 6, can't they? 1, 2, 3, and he's going to attack the officer. The officer defends with a white. So it's a range of 7. This is a hit. 1 damage in a surge. The surge is blocked, so 1 damage to the officer. And this third guy is going to go and do the same. I think 1, 2, 3. Attack the officer. That's a range of 4, so that's a hit. 3 damage. The surge is blocked, so the officer is dead because he only has 3 health. So they've had their go. Right. Add 1 to each move value during this activation. Move 4 to attack the healthiest rebel that has suffered the least damage. So he suffered 15, he suffered 9, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So okay, 1, 2, 3. He's focused, so he will attack with an extra green die. This isn't good. So he attacks with a red, a yellow, and a green. So that gets discarded now that he's attacked while being focused. And Mac defends with a white. Oh dear. 3, 4, 5, 6, and a surge. His surge preference is Pierce 1, so that will do away with that. So it's 6 damage. Ouch. So that puts him on 15 as well. That evens things up quite nicely. And then for his second action, move 3 to engage as many non-Guardian Imperial. There are no Imperial figures left. So move 3 towards the closest non-ready hero. That's going to have to be saying where he is then, I think, isn't it? Okay, so it's going to have to be Fen then. Fen is going to shoot the Imperial Guard, blue and a green, against the black. Okay, so that's 3 damage. He has 8 health. 1, 2, 3 damage. And I'm going to rest, so that's endurance 4, so he heals 4 damage. Fen is going to shoot 2 blue against the black. 4 damage, 1 blocked, so it's another 3 damage. So that puts him on 6 damage. And he's going to rest as well for his second action. Because I know this guy's going to come punching in a second. Right, again, no Imperials to have a go, so back to Fen. We'll do another shot. So a blue and a green against the black. The officer's gone. 1 block, 2 damage, 5, 6, 7, 8. That puts him at 8 damage. He is out of here. Royal Guard is defeated. And Fen has 1 action left, so he is going to heal 4. Right, time for some more. Squad of stormtroopers ambushes you. I'll leave them as grey. Bonus, after this group's activation, reinforce one defeated figure from this group as close as possible to another figure in this group. So as their activation, move 3, oh dear, to attack the rebel troopers. So this guy, they are in water, so I think it costs them an extra move to move out of. So 1, 2, 3, and attack the rebel troopers. The stormtroopers attack with a blue and a green, and the rebel troopers defend with a white. Three damage and a surge block. So this guy is dead. And for his second action, move 2 to reposition 4. You can't move 2 to reposition 4. Or move 6 to reposition 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so that's going to go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 away from him. 1, 2, 3, 4 away from him. 1. Yeah, 4 away from each. Now this guy, move 3 to attack rebel troopers. 1, 2, 3. So he's going to shoot that guy up there. Oh dear, 3 damage, so he's gone. And for his second action, move to reposition 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's going to have to go on the top there. And then this guy, 1, 2, 3. So he's rolled 3 damage and a surge. 1 damage and a surge is blocked, so it's 2 damage. So he's clinging on. And for his second action, move 2 to reposition 4. Or move 6 to reposition 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to go to the top there. 1, 2, 3, 4. More Imperial forces come bursting out of the jungle. More stormtroopers. Let's make them black. Where did the stormtroopers coming in? I missed that. Well, they were at the top here, I think, weren't they? And then a probe droid, we'll call it grey. Oh dear. So then the probe droid was down here in the water. This isn't what we want, is it? At the top of the stairs. Put in there then. Old Breathy Pants himself. Mr. the Vader. I think I've probably got some of those positionings wrong, but Yeah, deploy Darth Vader. Right. Through the smoke and haze from the blast of fire, you see the outline of a dark, imposing figure striding out of the jungle. It is not until a glowing red blade appears in the figure's hand you realise a Dark Lord of the Sith has arrived. You know you have no chance of defeating Darth Vader. Deploy Darth Vader. Darth Vader cannot be defeated. Only 2 transports have yet to depart, Lieutenant Tulkin says over the control. Keep standing strong. Ooh. Is now the time to run away and hide in a cupboard? I think it might be. Right. The probe droid has a health of 5. Is there any chance of that sole trooper taking out the probe droid? He's rolling a blue and a yellow. Can he take 2 shots? I think that's what I'm going to do. He is going to take a shot at the probe droid. He's not exited his space, so he applies 1 damage and 2 accuracy. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, 1 blocked. So that's 3 damage to the probe droid. 1, 2, 3. And then he's going to take another shot. 1, 2, and a surge, 1 blocked. His surge is Pierce 1, so that gets rid of the block. So that's 2 damage. That takes it to 5 damage. So the probe droid is out. And that's their go done, because there's only 1 of them left. Darth Vader. At the end of this figure's activation, each rebel adjacent to this figure suffers a damage. This figure discards each harmful condition. Double action brutality. Oh dear, I've left that. This is the bad position of me staying together now. Move 4 to engage 2 or more rebels, then attack each adjacent rebel. 1, 2, 3. So he's attacking those 2. So this is double action, so this is his full go. Attack each adjacent rebel. His attack is 2 red dice and a yellow. So the first one is attacking Mac, who defends with a white. One, 2, 3, 4. 4 damage and 3 surge. One of the damages and one of the surges is blocked. Oof. Pierce 3 is the first surge, that disregards the damage, and the second one is plus 2, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage on Mac. And then the same attack on Fen, who can only defend with the black dice. 6, but 3 blocked, so they cancel each other out. So it's 3, 4 and a surge. PS3, so that actually gets rid of the... So 6, 7 damage. Good job we did some healing last turn. Now I believe, because that's got 2 action icons on brutality, that's his 2 actions taken. And at the end of this figure's activation, each rebel adjacent to this figure suffers a damage. Actually that becomes a 5, doesn't it? So 15 and 18. This is bad. Mac is at 18 out of 20. Mac needs health badly. So Mac is going to run away. He can move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. That's his 2 actions, and he'll heal on his next activation. Grey Stormtroopers bonus. After this group's activation, reinforce 1 defeated figure from this group as close as possible to another figure in this group. So the Grey Stormtroopers are the ones top left over here. Move 3 to attack the nearest healthy rebel that has suffered the least damage. That's Finn over here. So 1, 2, 3. So he will shoot with a blue and a green against Finn's black. One damage, 1 surge. The surge is blocked, so 1 damage. And his second action, move 2 to reposition 4. Okay. Now this guy, move 3 to attack. 1, 2, 3. He does have line of sight through Darth Vader, I believe. Not 100% sure on that one. 1, 2, 3. Let's say he does. That's 3 damage, 2 blocks, so 1 damage. And then move 2 to reposition 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll move there. Then the third guy, 1, 2, 3. He hasn't got line of sight, so he doesn't do that at all. So he does move 2 to reposition 4. Oh, I suppose he could attack the... One, 2, 3, attack the rebel there. Defends with the white. 3 damage, 1 blocked, he's dead. Is he dead? Yes, he's dead. And then he does a move 2 to reposition 4. 1, 2. Right, Fenn, what are you going to do? Are you going to do some severe running away as well? You can move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you can move 4 and take a strain. 1, 2, 3. Well, no, just move 4. Now it's time for the Black Stormtroopers. Squad training, PS1 for each other figure in this group. Oh dear. Move 3 to attack the healthy rebel that has the least damage. Move 2 to reposition 4. Move 6 to reposition 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So they need to get here if they can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's what they're going to have to do.
I found this on the web.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's very kind. Thank you very much, Siri. Okay. Right, Fen has got his long blaster. What distance are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're 6, at least 6 away. There is only 1 5 on the blue dice. So it's a very slim chance that he'll be able to hit. He rolls 2 blue dice, so he's got a better chance. So let's do Mac doing a blue attack on that nearest stormtrooper. So that's a range of 7, so it's a hit, 1 hit that's blocked, and a surge. His surge is another hit. So that's a damage of 1 to the front stormtrooper. Woo. For his second action, he's going to open this crate. What is in the crate? It is Emergency Med Pack. Discard this card after you rest. You or a friendly figure recovers 5 health. Okay, and so what are you going to do? You're going to open your crate. You get, so this is an action, a Bacta infusion. Discard this card during your activation to choose yourself or an adjacent friendly figure. That figure recovers 3 health and may discard 1 or more harmful conditions. I'm going to do that now. Discard that to gain 3 health. 1, 2. And take a 5 off and put 4 back on. So I've had my activation, it was opening the crate. That was a freebie, just discarding the card, so I've still got a second go left. Let's do a heal for a rest. More Imperial forces come bursting out of the jungle. How many stormtroopers grey are on the map? 3. How many stormtroopers black are on the map? 3. Right, so we have another probe droid. He's going to be here in the water. And an elite E-Web engineer. Oh, good grief. And another officer. And the officer is there. Just 1 transport left, Lieutenant Tarkon calls over the comlink. Hold on just a little longer. I'm running out of space! The withering fire from the Imperial forces is taking its toll on your team. We're nearly done loading the last of the transports, Lieutenant Tarkon informs you over the comlink. We just need a little more time. I'll clear your way to your ship if you need to make an escape. Another door opens on a remote signal from the comlink. 25B. Door is opened. 25B. And 2 little end pieces. More crates. What tokens? 1, 2, 3. So the crates actually award you extra credits as well at the end of the game to spend on loot as well as what is inside the crates. Another squad of rebel troopers comes rushing out of the base to provide you with reinforcements. Thank goodness. The stress of the battle is starting to get to you. Each hero may test eye, vision, whatever that is. Each hero that does not pass suffers a strain. I would say may, surely must. Right, so this is something new we haven't done yet. So you basically roll the indicated die. So for Mac, it's a blue and a green. And a pass is by rolling a surge symbol, which is like the lightning strike. And he passed. And I rolled the wrong dice. It should have been a green and a yellow. No, a green and a blue, in fact. Let's try that again there. Green and a blue for Mac. He passed. Green and a blue for Fen. He failed, so he takes a strain, which is fine, so he can lose a strain each round. Round 6. So I think this is the final round. So I've basically got to hold these guys off for one more turn. I think I send the rebel troopers out as meat shields. So according to this card, they can move 4. 1, 2, 3. Let's move the one at the back first. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the guy at the front is going to shoot the front stormtrooper. Blue and a yellow with a white defense. 1 damage, 1, 2 surge. 1 surge is blocked, so 1 damage and 1 surge, and his surge is PS1, so it's 1 damage. So he's at 2. Right, the guy behind is going to do the same. 1, 2 damage and 3 surges. One of those surges blocked, so 2 damage, 2 surges, and they just do pierces and accuracy, so it's just 2 damage to that front stormtrooper, so he's dead. And then he's going to take a shot at the stormtrooper on the right there, because the one on the left's behind a red block. Probably not going to hit because of the distance. Range of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. 1 hit, 1 surge, 1 blocked. The surge is a pierce, so that gets rid of the block, so 1 hit on that stormtrooper there. So the rebel meat shields have taken their activation. Darth Vader. At the end of this figure's activation, that's the same again. Move 4 to engage 2 or more rebels. 1, 2, 3, 4. That can only engage 1 rebel, so we can't do that. Move 4 to attack rebel troopers, so we can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he attacks. Put mental block, 2 red, 1 yellow, and the troopers defend with a white. That's 5 damage, of which 1 is blocked. He is toast. And his second action, force choke, move 2 towards rebel troopers. And that figure suffers 2 damage and a strain. I don't think the rebel troopers can take strain, so that becomes 3 damage, so he's dead. That's Darthy boy finished. Right, Darth Vader isn't getting any closer anyway, not this round. These guys have still got to move. Everyone else, I think, is really too far away to do anything, so I think we just fall back. 1, 2, 3, 4. And rest. So that's a heal 5. Discard this card after you rest to heal another 5. So at least I've got a bit of protection now. So that's, he's had his go. E-Web Engineer. When this figure declares its first attack, add a blue die. Imperial figures do not block this figure's line of sight. Attack Fen Cygnus. He cannot see Fen Cygnus, or can he? He can, but he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's 10 squares away. And he attacks with a blue, a red, and a yellow. So he can't hit a range of 10 with those dice anyway. So he can't attack Fen. He can move 3 to attack the closest hero, or if he didn't attack, move 6 to reposition 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. What are you going to do, Fen? What was that you said? You're going to have a look in a box. 1, 2, 3, and we'll open that crate. Adrenal Stim. Discard this card during your activation to choose yourself or an adjacent friendly figure. That chosen figure recovers 3 strain and becomes focused. At the end of his he recovers that anyway. So he's moved and activated. Grey Imperial Officer. Before this activation, the highest cost Imperial figure that isn't already focused becomes focused. I guess that would be Lord Vader. Becomes focused. Right, order another Imperial figure with a cost of 3 or less to attack the healthy rebel closest to this figure. So he's over here. A figure costing 3 or less, so that would have to be the probe droid. Because the stormtroopers cost 6. The probe droid can't attack anybody. Move 3 to attack the closest healthy rebel, there's nobody nearby. Move 2 to reposition 5, or move 6 to reposition 5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And for his second action, Cow, if not within 3 spaces of a rebel, recover 2 health. Well, that's fine, because he hasn't done any damage. Right, Fen. No, Mac. as well open your box, haven't you? Open your box. And what have you got? You've got a shock grenade. Ooh, that's nice. Choose a space within 3 spaces. Roll 1 yellow die. Each figure on or adjacent to that space suffers damage equal to the results and becomes stunned. Well, these two have both already had their go, as has him, so they're not moving anyway. Would have been fun to stun Darth Vader with Darth Grenader. Right, okay. Second action. Rest. Right, Grey Probe Droid. Move 3 to attack the closest healthy rebel. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. He's got no line of sight to a healthy rebel. Self-destruct, no. Move 2 to reposition 3. Move 4 to reposition 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 3 from that guy. Finish. Fan. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open a box. Back to infusion. Discard during your activation. So I'll discard that and heal 3. He's done. Grey Stormtroopers, that's the guys at the back. They're just going to have to move 6 to reposition, move 4 and, sorry, move 6 and move 2 to reposition 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, so they're going to cluster here, aren't they? This is going to get confusing, let's send them the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stormtroopers black. After this group's activation, reinforce 1 defeated figure from this group. Well, they're not defeated. Oh, they are. 1's down. So after their activation, they get topped back up to 3. Move 3 to attack the healthiest rebel. 1, 2. Can't move any further. I don't think he can attack, actually. Not with reading that thing earlier that said that they don't block line of sight, so that means they do block line of sight. So move 2 to reposition 4, or move 6 to reposition 4. But they're already 4 away from the nearest person, so I guess they stay put. But then they top themselves back up to a group of 3. That's it, the last ship is off. Lieutenant Tarkon shouts excitedly, "Great work, get yourselves to safety." You retreat through the base to your ship and quickly get aboard. Your pilot is already there, ready to take off as soon as everyone is accounted for. The surviving rebel troopers who had fought alongside you came aboard your ship, thanking you for saving their lives. With only 1 of them left out of 6. You received the regular rebel troopers as allies for the next mission. When the last of your team comes aboard, the small freighter takes off and rockets out of the docking bay. Your ship comes alongside the medium transport Freedom Fighter, and the 2 ships leave Yavin 4's atmosphere, only to come face to face with an Imperial Star Destroyer. Fortunately, the Star Destroyer is already preoccupied hauling in another transport, allowing both your ship and the Freedom Fighter to make their escape into hyperspace. Thanks to your heroic efforts, all of the remaining transports had enough time to take off before the Imperials could reach them. Ta-da! So we've gained ourselves some laminate armour. We earned 450 credits. And we gained 59 fame. Whatever that is. So there we are. So this is the mission select screen now where we continue. We can have a look in the armory. So we have 450 credits, so this is where I can actually start buying new weapons. Ooh, but it would be a case of looking at the cards to actually see what the benefit is. So whatever a disruption cell is, I think that might be an upgrade for a weapon. Disruption cell, no, it's a weapon in itself. No, it's an upgrade. It gives +2 accuracy to the weapon it is attached to. When you declare an attack, replace one die in your attack pool with a red die. Very powerful, very illegal. So that's costed there at 400 credits. It's 600 credits normally, so the values have been adjusted for this campaign. So a tier 2 weapon there of a spread barrel. So I'm assuming that attacks a wider range. Exhaust this card while attacking a target within 3 spaces. Apply 1 damage to the attack results. Well, it's just guaranteed extra damage then, isn't it? An overcharger is also a tier 2 modification. Deplete this card when you declare an attack. Remove a die from the defense pool. Deplete means it's out for the rest of the game, or the rest of the mission. So then we have 3 tier 1 weapons. We can have a DH-17, an E-11 or a DL-44. I'm not sure any of those are particularly better than what we've got. So DL-44 is a blue and a yellow attack, and its surges give +2 damage or +1 damage and +2 accuracy. The DH-17 is a green and a yellow, which gives +2 accuracy, +1 damage PS1. And the E11, I think I've already got that set aside because I'm using that in my other campaign. But anyway, we don't need to spend now. We can also upgrade our characters. So this is where we have extra abilities unlocked. So Fen can gain tactical movement or take cover. So look at Fen's cards. Tactical movement, we can exhaust this card at the start of your activation to choose a friendly figure within 3 spaces, and that figure gains 2 movement points. And take cover, you can take a strain to exhaust this card when an attack targeting you is declared, and you add a white die to your defense pool. That seems quite good. I think I might take that, because extra defense is always good. And then Mac can gain disengage or supply network. So disengage, take a strain, exhaust this card when a hostile figure enters a space within 3 spaces of you to gain 3 movement points. Now normally you can take a strain to move 1 square extra up to twice in a go. So this actually lets you move up to 3 more for 1. And then supply network, exhaust this card during your activation to test vision. If you pass, reveal the top card of the supply deck and place it on the top or the bottom of the deck. Deplete this card to draw 1 card from the supply deck. So that's basically having a sneak peek at what's in a crate and then getting it. I think Fen is going to save his XP, but Mac is going to save his XP. Fen is going to get to take cover. And then the mission would continue. And that's where we're going to leave it. So remember, right, there will be some sort of conversation here, and then I think the way that conversation goes would determine the next mission. Something like that anyway. Well, that's been a long stream. I do apologise for like a 15-minute phone call right near the beginning. But yeah, that's 2 hours of me playing Imperial Assault. Hopefully you've been able to follow. Hopefully you've been able to see and understand, or at least grasp, how the game works. It's a brilliant game. Love it to bits. And I think I'm going to be concentrating over the next few months in buying up some of the expansions before they go out of print, given that Fantasy Flight have confirmed they are not making any more, or not developing any more physical components, but they will continue adding those missions and campaigns into this app. So there you go. Thank you very much. Hope you've enjoyed. I certainly have. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you another time.